Hello, welcome here. I'm Florin, and today I'm going to talk in this video about planning a long trip with an electric vehicle, more specific with this Tesla Model 3 Long Range 2021. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. That will motivate me to upload more interesting videos. Yes, in the coming few days, I'm going for a trip which I've been looking for quite some time. It is between the Netherlands and my hometown back in Romania called Buzău, which is about 2,250 kilometers on one way. This year Tesla opened up a few superchargers in Romania, the first one in Timișoara, then in Bucharest, and then in Pitești, and very soon in Sibiu. I might actually use that one in Sibiu on my way back. So it's interesting because a few months ago when I was planning this trip all the way to my hometown, Tesla navigation wouldn't even give me an option. It will tell me that I cannot reach the destination. But right now, if I try again, it gives me a route via Croatia, and then Serbia, and then all the way a little bit Bulgaria, and then go all the way to Romania. But this trip is actually it's 2,532 kilometers, so that's about 300 kilometers extra and a lot of time. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do this trip in let's say two legs. I'm going to go between the Netherlands and at the border there is a town called Arad, and then I will sleep over in Arad. That will also be considered in the planning. And then between Arad and Buzău the next day. With electric vehicles, I believe it's very important that you always have a plan B when it comes to charging. And with Tesla, this is very easy, and it's actually one of the reasons I choose Tesla. They have a very good network within Europe, western part of Europe mainly, and that's very well integrated with the car. You can see here, for instance, it tells you how much it costs. It tells you how many stalls are available, and many seems to be available around. As I said, I'm going to take this trip in 2 days. So using a computer, let's have a look at some planning details. So on the first day, between Almere and Arad, Google is telling us we have a distance of 1,656 kilometers, and it would suggest you can do this trip in less than 17 hours. In reality, I've done this trip before, and it takes about 17 to 18 hours, including some refueling stops, but also some refreshment stops. That would mean that I would normally leave somewhere around 3 a.m. Just to arrive on a decent time in Arad. Remember, Romania, it's on a different time zone as well. Now, using a better route planner, which is a very good app to plan your trips with electric vehicles, you can also see I connected my car to this website. There is also an app on the phone. Let's have a look at the settings. You see my car is connected there. Let's assume I'm leaving with 95% state of charge. Let's pick the reference consumption from my car right now. They implemented this recently, and as I mentioned to you, this is not going to be let's say a race trip, how quick I will get there. So I would be more interested to have, let's say, less charging stops. So that's why I choose this one here on the left. Let's say something about the speed. Okay. And I'm going to travel alone, but I will have a lot of luggage. So let me put here 300 kilograms extra, my fair estimation. So a better route planner would suggest that I can do this trip in more or less the same time. That's including 2 hours and 29 minutes of charging time. I would say that's a bit optimistic looking at the distance being the same. So I assume Better Route Planner is not considering traffic, is not considering any speed restrictions or so on. So probably I will need to plan 1.5 hour extra than what I see in Google, which would mean I would have to leave also a little bit early to arrive at a decent time in Arad. You can see there are five charging stops on the way. 27 minutes, 25 minutes, 28, 36, 33, which is a bit challenging because honestly, I think I'm going to need a break somewhere in between, which is a bit longer. So for that, I'm actually going to take that opportunity and plan it in such a way that around Nuremberg, I'm going to charge a bit longer, potentially in a different place, um, just because I want to take more resting time there. Where I'm going to charge, I use a charge map to actually find different charging spots. Also plug share. They're both available on your mobile, and I'm going to try to charge not here, but there is another charger in the same spot. Yeah, this one. Aldi is offering a quite large network of chargers in Germany, especially, and they're actually free. So I'm going to try it, and will share my experience here. So the plan would be to go to Nuremberg, stay there for maybe 1.5 hour, take a breakfast, refresh a little bit, and then continue the journey. I can see this charger is 75 kilowatt power, so it should be okay in 1.5 hour to get a full charge. So then the plan is to arrive in Arad, and remember, with electric vehicles, you need to have always a plan B. And my plan in Arad is going to be to charge at this spot, um, which is a charging spot by Kaufland in cooperation with eCharge Renovatio. And I'm going to use an offer that they currently do in Romania, where I can actually charge 5 times in a month for free if you do shopping of equivalent of about €100 a month with Kaufland. So in some Kaufland parking spots where they have these chargers, yes, you can charge for free. So that's going to be my plan A. Arrive there with low state of charge, let the car charge, go for a dinner, and then yeah, have the car to 90-95% ready for next day. Plan B will be this one, which is Mall Plug E in Romania, which they have very, very good offers for DC and AC charging. On DC charge, it will cost about €9 for a charging session. Doesn't matter how much energy you put into the battery. So pretty good deal, I would say. Um, then the plan C would be one of these other chargers, which are also by Renovatio. This one is also actually it's relatively new. It's a little bit powerful, more powerful as well. So I would consider that as a plan C. And plan D, yeah, I also have that one. Is this one? Yes, I have that in my trunk, which is the mobile charger from Tesla, and an extension power cord which I can connect to any domestic 220 volts in case I need to, let's say, boost a little bit the energy in the battery. So second day using the Better Planner would be a little bit easier. 622 kilometers only. It will be a nice journey going through the mountains, part of it. Looking forward to that, to be honest. And it will involve just one charging, which would be in somewhere in the middle in a town called Sibiu. In Sibiu, I have plenty of options. Some of them are free, some of them are relatively cheap, and then some of them a bit more expensive. Let's see, depending on availability, what I will find over there. The question would be, where do you charge at the destination? And again, I have quite some options. One of them, which is convenient and free, would be this one. I will review how easy and convenient it is to actually find this place available. It seems to be extremely busy, which is a good sign. That also reminds me that apparently when you are in Romania, many EV drivers are using plug share. So it seems to be very important to do a check-in in there. So then you let the other drivers know that you are actually using that charging spot. Other options, again, a mall plug-in, a little bit outside of the city, not that convenient. And then there are some others. This one is actually, I've been using it before with my plug-in hybrid, and it's quite decent price as well. And of course, I also have the option to charge the domestic 220 volts plug. Weather conditions is affecting electrical vehicles range quite substantial. By the looks of it, I will have relatively good weather and not so much wind. Maybe a little bit in favor somewhat in Hungary, but let's see. So the plan looks a little bit like this. Leaving Almere, then stop for a bit longer in this location, Aldi Sud, close to Nuremberg. That's more like an experiment. Let's see how that works. Then stay overnight in Arad. Also charge the car over there. Then stop in Sibiu for almost full charge, and then all the way to the destination. Overall, this is how the plan looks like. Let's see how these stops will be. Maybe a little bit less often or more often, or charging for a bit more or less, depending on the actual situation with the traffic and the consumption. I see Better Route Planner is also suggesting some sort of cost. I don't know how real is that going to be, but of course we'll find out. Feel free to comment below what you think about it. Let me know any tips and tricks. I will be glad to listen to. For the big part of this journey, I'm going to use Tesla Supercharger, and Tesla has this referral program where if you order the car using a friend referral, by the way, you can use mine if you want. You'll find it in the comments below. You will get around 400 kilowatt hour of let's say supercharger balance into your account. So when I got this car a little bit more than 6 months ago, I got this 400 kilowatt hour, which actually I think they came into my balance a little bit later, and they are still valid. So it's interesting if I can actually use them. In addition to that, I would like to thank Gabor, which he ordered a car using my referral code. So I hope he enjoys the car, and then I will be also using the balance on the supercharger. Thank you for that. During this trip, I'm going to record a lot of information. First of all, I have scanned my Tesla here, and I'm going to monitor these parameters on regular basis: consumption, battery power, speed, some information about the voltage in the battery pack and the amperes that are taken, odometer, then information about power, torque and temperature of the front and rear stators, and then more information about the temperature, outside temperature, battery inlet, the cell temperature, and the flow of the coolant that goes into the battery, and then the state of charge, and then the remaining usable energy in the battery pack, the nominal remaining in the battery pack. Tesla has a bit of a buffer, and then rated range, which is the one that is also displayed on the screen, and the maximum discharge power. In addition to that, I'm going to create different trips in Scan My Tesla, just to monitor overall, let's say on longer legs, let's say consumption, charging, and so on. And then also from the car screen, I created this let's say trip here. And then I'm going to reset. Now I'm going also to reset just before I go, but in case I forget, then I will I have that reset here. So very exciting trip ahead. I look forward to share all that experience and data here with you. Therefore, please subscribe, stay tuned, wish me luck, and talk to you later.